Today I'll be looking at the movement of electrons around a circuit. The movement of electrons around the circuit coupled with the direction it flows. So we'll be looking at this now. The battery stems from the battery. The battery pumps electron around the circuit. The first thing you must know that the function of the battery or the power supply is to pump electrons around the circuit. These electrons travel around the circuit in a clockwise direction from negative to positive. From negative to positive. That is from the negative terminal of the battery to the positive terminal of the battery. Then the third thing you must know is that electron leaves the battery at the negative terminal and passes through wires, bulbs, electrodes, switch, these various electrolytic components, and enters the battery again through the positive terminal. Through the positive terminal. So let's look at it as written on the board. Let me explain it one more time. The battery, as I said earlier on, is to pump electron around the circuit. Now these electron, the electron travel around the circuit in a clockwise. That's the point you must know. In a clockwise direction. It goes like this. See? It leaves here. Electron flows through here. That's passing through the bulb, the switch, the wire. These are the electrodes, and the electrons again flow in here through the external circuit and back to the positive terminal of the battery. So that's the direction. Show the direction. This is the direction, right? It's here clockwise and flow in, right? Just know that what flows, what moves here are ions in the electrolyte moves here, right? So I'm trying to explain that the electrons leaves the battery here. This is the battery. Electron leaves the battery at the negative terminal. This is the negative terminal. This is the positive terminal. If you look at the battery, right, and passes through bulbs, switch, wire, the copper wire, and the rods again, and it's a redox reaction within this internal circuit. Afterwards, electron is released again, and this electron moves through the external circuit and back again to the positive terminal of the battery. Don't forget. As a direction of flow, as you can see, right? So the movement of electron around the circuit, electron leaves the battery tries to push the electron that generated here from the anion, and the electron here is being pulled from this positive terminal known as the positive plate of the electrode or rod, and is pushed around. Is pushed from the negative terminal of the battery, right, and flows here. This is the negative terminal. Electron leaves here. Electron leaves the battery at the negative terminal, pump through the battery, the switch, the wire, the copper wire via the conductor. These are conductors too. That is the electrode. This is an electrode, anode and cathode. Electrode, and it gets to the cathode. Electron gets to the cathode. Electron enters the cathode, and electron leaves the anode. This is the anode. Electrons enter the cathode to leave the anode, right? The positive what? Electrode. Now, it flows and pushed by the battery again and goes back to the positive terminal of the battery, right? Two things you must take from here is that electron, the battery function is to pump or push electron around the circuit. The electron travels in a clockwise direction from negative to positive, flowing through the various devices attached to it, which are all conductors attached to the electrolytic cell, and enters the battery again at the positive what terminal. Don't forget, leaves the battery at the negative what terminal, right? And enters the battery again through the positive what terminal. I hope this is understood. So the next thing you have to learn now is what happened to electrons when it gets to the what? Positive what? Electrode. What happened to electrons? Positive electrode, and how does electron come out from the anode? Electron leaves the anode, electron enters the cathode. This electron, how does it enter? What plays a vital role enabling electrons to leave, to enter the anode? And what happened to the electrolyte? The electrolyte, the ions there, in terms of electron that flows through the external circuit. So we're looking at that. We're looking at the redox reaction that takes place at the what? Electrodes. The redox reaction takes place at the electrode. That's the anode half cell, the cathode half cell equation. We're looking at the anode half cell equation, right?